We're doing it. The Demogorgon video. So while I have been gone for way too long, I've been practicing a lot of things. I switched from controller, like 3,500 hours in this game, on specifically controller, to finally playing mouse and keyboard, and may I say, it feels fantastic. Just being able to turn my camera feels absolutely amazing. I've been trying new killers because I finally can, because I'm playing on mouse and keyboard, not controller, things like the Trickster, the Deathslinger, the Huntress. Throwing hatchets is really fun, by the way. And during that time of practicing, I've also been playing a lot, and I mean a lot, of my favorite killer, the Demogorgon. I came to a lot of realizations about how the Demogorgon works. This is a build I use all the time. I pretty much haven't taken it off since coming up with it. It's a ton of fun. It synergizes really, really well with Demo. The mechanics of Demo. First of all, basic M1 attack. You slap them with your fingers, your long fingers. Demo kind of has several different powers, so we're going to break them down one by one. First is going to be Of the Abyss, where you hold your M2, and that's it. You open up your maw, your big flowery face, and while this is going on, the Demogorgon has a passive effect while also having the option of an attack to use, Shred. The Shred is going to be the more in-depth of the abilities because it covers so much. So let's actually move over to the portals. Demo is able to place 6 portals around the map base kit. You press the active ability button to place one portal on the ground in front of you. The portal is inactive and has a white aura until it is activated. Survivors are not able to see or interact with inactive portals until they become active. To activate a portal, another portal has to be placed somewhere else on the map. Once you're standing on a second portal, face the direction of your original portal, or if you've placed several around the map, face any of your portals, and then press the active ability button again to traverse the Upside Down. Very fun fact about the Upside Down, while you're traversing it, there are a couple perks that the demo has to make it faster to move. Actually see survivors' auras while traversing the Upside Down, see the repair progress of generators while traversing the Upside Down. There's a lot of cool things you can do, but base kit, while traversing the Upside Down, you are able to hear any game audio going on while you are traveling from portal to portal. This even includes the hatch. You can hear survivors running. You can hear generators being worked on. All of that stuff is still present while traversing the Upside Down. When you finally come out of the Upside Down, you gain the undetectable status for 3 seconds. It's not very long, and people will be able to hear the portals, but it's still just kind of cool that Demo naturally has base kit undetectable that I don't think a lot of people really know. Demogorgon is not able to break its own portals, but survivors can break the traps themselves by walking up and interacting with it. Once a portal is broken, Demogorgon gains its token back to place that portal somewhere else. So you have to be really careful on where and when you place them. If you place one by a generator that is already done or about to be done, and there is no reason for the survivors to come back, it becomes useless. Survivors don't have to cleanse it, so be very careful where you place your portals. The passive ability that I was talking about before. When you are holding your Shred, now that you've placed your portals, you've opened your portals, say near generators, totems, exit gates, at the top of the basement stairs, really good point to defend the center of Killer Shack. If any survivors are within 4 meters of an active portal, they are revealed through Killer Instinct. You will be able to hear their heartbeat, even if you are not looking in the direction at the time. This only applies to when you are charging your shred. If you let go of the shred, you lose the killer instinct. This is base kit Demogorgon. There's an add-on that works, the lifeguard whistle, that makes it so you don't have to open your maw, and anytime a survivor walks near an active portal, it will just automatically go off. We're not using that add-on, so don't worry about that. I believe that actually finishes the portal section. Let's move over to the shred. Now that you have flung yourself through the air, you do 1 health state of damage. If you launch yourself at a pallet or breakable wall, it will break the pallet or breakable wall. The shred itself is very simple in idea, but it has so very many nuances to it. And this is why I wanted to come back to it. The shred has a charge time that you can activate when you start holding your ability button, as early as 0.65 seconds. That's the minimum duration needed to launch yourself. If you launch yourself at the minimum time, you travel a shorter distance. The longer you hold it, up to 1 full second, the farther your shred will go. And I actually learned a lot, one looking on the DVD wiki, but originally from Mr. Scott Junn's video, who I've been watching more and more recently, and it's been a lot of fun, to be perfectly honest. Like, his videos are great. You should go check them out. He's very informative. He's very like cut to the point. Honestly, his editing is fun too.
This optimal Demogorgon guide is so optimal it doesn't even have an intro excluding this part, but I didn't say my normal part.
I learned a lot of this from Scott's video to help me do the research I was looking to do for this video.
So I'm going to teach you how to play Demogorgon in the most efficient way possible, and I'm going to make this guide in the efficient way possible, no waste of time. Let's go first off. What is his actual power? You already know it. Read a book. The actual power he has is shred, not portals. Portals are a really good thing to have kind of towards the end of the game. Generally use a portal right at the beginning of the match, and then after your first hook, as long as that's kind of an equidistant away, that'll give you some good traversal, but you do not set up traps like a hag. That's not how you play this killer. He is a chase-based killer that has a nice other secondary portal that he can use occasionally, but really the primary power that you have is shred.
So let's go over all of the things the shred is. Serves as the purposes of a projectile. Because you are launching yourself, you are basically the projectile itself. Even if you miss your shred, you are still closing the distance between yourself and the survivor. You do have a cooldown. If you miss your shred, a missed shred attack has a cooldown of 2.25 seconds. A successful shred attack has a cooldown of 3 seconds, because the Demogorgon kind of gets mad and just wants to scream for no reason. It could just shut the fuck up and keep going, but whatever. You can use it as anti-loop. You can use it to break pallets. You can use it to zone them out of an area you want them to not be in. You don't even have to launch yourself at the loop necessarily. You just have to make the survivor think that you are going to go for that hit. There is not really a repercussion that Demo has for canceling your shred. You just get to keep walking instead of launching yourself forward. The survivor runs to the side, dodging you, making distance, and you are having to recover for 2.25 seconds. Instead, you cancel your shred, you also get them zoned away from an area you don't want them to be, and then you just walk up, and then you can use your shred again, cancel it, walk up, M1. You have a lot of different options that the Demogorgon, just by readying the shred, has to make the survivor think several different ways about when is it going to launch itself. Cool little fact, also learned in Scott's video, the Demogorgon travels farther when shredding from an elevation. It's not able to shred from a very high elevation like upstairs of Ormond, Garden of Joy, these kind of maps, anywhere super high, a second story elevation. It will just hit an invisible wall. But if you throw yourself from a hill, Demo will actually travel farther. Then its base kit distance from just traveling from the same elevation, it will actually launch itself farther. It's a good way of some easy traversal. Demo is able to land a successful hit while ascending, like up a hill, up a staircase, but the Demogorgon cannot actually land a hit. One, if it's flying from a hill and you run or fly into a survivor, it just kind of stops at their hitbox. If Demogorgon launches itself down a staircase instead, it can land a hit, but survivors can actually dodge this hit by simply crouching. It will have the same mechanics as when you launch yourself off a hill, you just can't land the hit. Good little tip for survivors running into demos. This technique can actually also be used at Killer Shack because Killer Shack is technically a higher elevation than the ground around it. So if demo's shredding from the center of Killer Shack and you're on the outside and you duck, just like in the doorway and duck, they won't get hit. Someone's done it to me. Monster. I thought I was the monster here. This is actually why you will sometimes see survivors trying to crouch as demo launches himself forward, because demo actually has a smaller hitbox. For survivors, if they crouch, it's kind of like it's an upside down triangle. Also in Scott's video, love you. Thank you for being a source of information. I really do appreciate it. Alright, let's start going into some of the build itself. Starting with the add-ons. The most common add-ons that you are going to see, which actually makes demo a lot of fun, are going to be Barb's Glasses and the Black Heart. Nice little yellow and brown add-on. You're going to have a ton of these. I have a lot. Yeah, I have a good amount. The first one, Barb's Glasses, yellow add-on. If you use your shred to break a pallet or breakable wall, you will break it 15% faster. This reduces the shred break pallet cooldown to 1.6 seconds. The second add-on is the Black Heart, brown add-on. You recover from your successful shred attacks 15% faster, which will help you close the gap even better on the survivor you were already chasing, or to switch targets to someone else. If someone else is nearby, you at least get to recover from your shred a little faster. These are the things you're going to want to be doing as the Demogorgon. You're going to be breaking pallets. You're going to try and get them out of tiles as fast as you can. You're going to want to land your shreds if possible. And when you do, you want to recover and just get right back into the chase as fast as you can. And now we're finally going to go over the perks. Sorry, this section has taken a while to get to.
One eternity later.
You already know it's going to be a part of it. We're going to use the most commonly used Demogorgon perk, Save the Best for Last. A perk from the Shape. Every time you land a basic M1 attack against a survivor that is not the Obsession, you gain one of up to 8 tokens. Each token will reduce the successful basic attack animation by 5%. You'll be able to land your M1 and then recover faster. For most killers, it's wiping off a weapon. For Demogorgon, he just kinda screams a little bit less. These tokens can be stacked up to 8 times for a total of 40%. Demogorgon is the best user of this perk in the entire game, because of his alternate attack of Shred also being able to cause a health state of damage and do everything that it needs to do, being versatile. Whenever you do run into the Obsession, you have the choice to shred them instead of using your M1, thereby being able to keep 8 stacks of Save the Best for Last. You'll constantly have a 40% faster animation recovery after a successful M1. Next, I'm going to be pairing it with the Plagues perk, Dark Devotion. What this perk does is when you hit the Obsession, by any means, whether special attack or a basic M1, and the survivor loses a health state, little insert note here that going from injured to the endurance status effect does not count as a health state. It will not proc Dark Devotion. You have to go from healthy to injured, or injured to the dying state, or healthy to the dying state to proc Dark Devotion. But when this happens, your terror radius is transferred to the Obsession for 30 seconds. During that 30 seconds, also, you gain the undetectable status, because the Obsession is running around with your terror radius being scared right now. And it's set to a standard of 32 meters. During this time, I tend to just move around the map and just get as close as I can to survivors, because the Demogorgon has a standard 32 meter terror radius. And go to the right. Cool. Okay, now I can't pick myself up. Normally, survivors, when they know it's a Demogorgon, they kind of just run away. If they're on the edge of the map, they generally know what direction you're going to come from, and then they can just hide from there. If you don't have a terror radius, believe it or not, you can actually still hear the Demogorgon around like a wall, even while being undetectable. He gurgles a lot, and he has like big thumpy feet. You kind of just hear him like why Tinkerer doesn't work on Nemesis, because he's just fucking stomping around all the time. So if you listen carefully, you can actually still hear the Demogorgon I am aware of that. But it allows you to get closer than you normally would with your 32-meter terror radius, which will let us get some more Stabiffle stacks. And we're just going to try and get 8 as quickly as we can, if possible. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way, sometimes you have to shred, sometimes you have to chase for a while. But we're going to try and get our stacks as fast as we can. After 30 seconds, you regain your terror radius. And on to the next perk. A perk from the doctor, Monitor and Abuse. Another perk to mess with our terror radius. While not in chase, you have a smaller terror radius, reducing the Demogorgon's terror radius from 32 meters to 24 meters. And you also increase your field of view by 10%. You'll be able to see on the sides a little bit more. A lot of people like to use Shadowborn for this reason on demo, especially if they are M2 only demos, which I've seen a lot. I like Monitor and Abuse for... I'm not really too concerned about the sides, but it is nice. I'm more concerned about manipulating the terror radius. So while not in chase, a 24 meter terror radius similar to the Hag or Spirit. I'm going to be using this to, again, try and close as much distance as I can between myself and survivors before they know I'm there. And then try and be able to land a shred a little bit easier, or sneak up to get a M1 and get another save the best for last stack if the obsession's not there. Or if the obsession is there, get a Dark Devotion, hit, and then move around from there. Monitor and Abuse is the part that, if I don't have Dark Devotion active, it's a secondary passive way that I can mess around with the terror radius. While you are in chase with a survivor, it will increase your terror radius by 8 meters, making the Demogorgon's terror radius 40 meters while in chase. Depending on the map, depending on the comms that are going on, it's always context. This can really just mess with survivor's head of sometimes you're just quiet out of nowhere and then your terror radius is really loud. And finally, the final perk. Even though the Demogorgon has not changed since his discontinuation from Dead by Daylight in 2021. He has not been buffed, nerfed, patched as far as I'm aware. I checked the wiki, I didn't see anything. He hasn't changed since patch like 4 point something. But the great thing about Dead by Daylight is that every time there's a new killer, new perks come out. And I'm taking the perk from the most hated killer in this game. You all know her. You've seen the videos on her. You've played against her. You've played as her. Pretty much no one likes her. The Skull Merchant. And I'll be taking the Skull Merchant's perk, Game Afoot. So I want to go over the second part in the perk that you actually read if you're in-game in DBD. It shows up differently if you're in the Wikipedia. Okay, so it shows up first in the Wikipedia this way. While chasing a survivor, the survivor with the total most chase time that you hit with a basic attack becomes the obsession. This can work kind of a weird couple ways. You have to initiate chase, so you actually have to hear the chase music go off. If the survivor is crouching, and you just walk up or they're standing still, they're AFK, and you M1 them, they just stay not the obsession. If they run initiate chase, and are running for even 0.5 seconds, 1 second, they now have the most chase time in the match. And when you M1 them, they become the obsession. The secondary effect of Game Afoot. This activates while you are chasing the obsession. While chasing the obsession, grants a 5% haste status effect for 10 seconds after damaging a generator or breaking a breakable wall or pallet. You chase the obsession, you break your pallet that you're going to be already chasing them in a loop, that lets you catch up to them faster. So this pairs perfectly with Barb's glasses of being able to break a pallet in 1.6 seconds, and then if you're chasing the obsession in particular, you just get a free movement speed increase. While you already broke the pallet faster, make it so it is that much more time you are reducing of all the actions you would normally be doing, you're making them more efficient. You're already breaking the pallet faster, you're already trying to chase down the obsession faster and get to them faster. 10 seconds is a long time. 10 seconds is buckle up endurance. Going with everything we've talked about, how the Demogorgon works, how the Shred works, the perks, manipulating the terror radius. We're going to take all of this and we're going to use it with Game Afoot. There were not many perks that gave killers the option to change the obsession. I think there's like 3. There's Nemesis, where You have to be stunned by a survivor by a pallet, a locker, or a flashlight. There was furtive chase that the obsession has to be on hook, and then whoever unhooks the obsession, that person becomes the obsession. But those were all perks that required survivors to perform an action to switch the obsession. Game afoot, you can argue yes, it's survivor interaction, but it's a lot less of a survivor performing a specific action that may not necessarily happen versus it's an action you're constantly going to be performing as a demo. You're trying to get your M1s, you're trying to get your save the best for last stacks. You actually get your save the best for last stack first, and then it switches over to that person being the obsession. You already have one save the best for last stack, you can then Dark Devotion this person, who is the obsession, or just move somewhere else. Just go somewhere else around the map, find a different survivor with your lower terror radius again. And kind of be sneaky. That's my favorite way to do it. Get as close as we can, get another save the best for last stack off of someone else, and then just kind of grind through them. Choosing our chases, choosing when to leave them in particular, try and get what is the standard rule of DBD of you should try and get something from a chase within 15 seconds. Whether it be a pallet, a hit, something. So let's go back for a second and say we do hit that one survivor, they become the obsession. Continuing to chase them down, can now go for a Dark Devotion play and try and hit them with a shred, use Dark Devotion to move around the map with no terror radius, or it has happened, you just walk around for 30 seconds and no one hears you and you don't hear anyone and they're just on the other side of the map. But at least with the obsession being down, and you being able to hook the obsession, that means every other person you are going to be hunting down is not the obsession, which just means every other person is a save the best for last stack. And we kind of just rinse and repeat this process of moving around, and we keep track of the obsession the entire time. Try to get in chase first if there's identical survivors, making sure the little bars that move on the side are actually the correct one and not the ones of the obsession. If they are, we know to shred. And it is being aware and being in control of both the terror radius and your obsession the entire game. So we know how the Demogorgon works mechanically, we know the add-ons we're going to use, we know the perks we're going to pair. I made it before I actually watched the Scott Jun video. It was like, I just watched that recently, but I was really happy when I heard him say this.
You do not set up traps like a hag. That's not how you play this killer. He is a chase-based killer that has a nice other secondary portal that he can use occasionally. But really the primary power that you have is shred.
So this is a build based around getting downs as fast as you can, being as efficient as you can. Everything in here I think synergizes perfectly. I've played against a lot of different survivors of a lot of different calibers. This will absolutely stomp out newer survivors very quickly, confuse average to intermediate survivors, probably be unexpected for most advanced survivors, where we're going to use these to do what the Demogorgon does best. Chase down, get hits, get M1s, get save the best for last stacks, get shreds, recover faster, break pallets faster, catch up to survivors faster, and never stop pressure. So I got a bunch of fun clips at the start of just some like really fun, devastating plays that this build has done. I think there was specifically one on Coldwind that I gotta make sure to pull up. I'm also very aware that this build lacks information, this build lacks gen regression, but I'm looking to move as quickly as I can to be as disruptive as I can, while being as deceptive as possible. And I don't really lose many matches as demo. Like it's very far and few between. Because again, mixed bag of survivors. Now I'm going to show you guys some older gameplay of mine where I was, sorry, I have crosshair on the screen sometimes. It's gonna be a little blue dot. I'm a bitch. That is my video, not your screen. So we're gonna have some really fun clips, go into the controller gameplay, and then switching over into the mouse and keyboard gameplay, which, again, this killer is so much fucking fun. I hope I see some demo players actually using this build, and just for fun. Not even for the wins, just for fun. So let's go hit some survivors, and I will catch you guys at the end of the video. And if you wouldn't mind real quick hitting the subscribe button, this video took a while. Thanks, bye! I blinded him coming out of the portal. Again. I blinded him again. Oh, she's blessing it. She's blessing it. Oh, I hope to God. I really hope that this one's haunted ground. Oh wait, is she blessing it or cleansing it? Okay. Right, is it only one hand for blessing? She is blessing through Throw of the Hunt right now. Oh shit, please let it be haunted. I'm gonna smack the Rebecca if it is. Actually no, I'm just gonna hit the camera. She's taking an hour. I don't think the bones even know how to react, they're kinda Hey Michaela, hey watch this. I broke it. Oh my god. Oh Michaela, you're my hero. Oh, there's two Steves and a Nancy. Snap. Okay. Oh, that was good. Okay. Good play. For you. I'm gonna do my best to try and explain my thought process as moving around the map, so that way you guys can see and understand my pain. Okay, they're on the opposite end of the map. I don't even really want to place this portal, to be honest, because I kind of just want to like move this way, try and find someone. Okay, so we got him to become the obsession. Do you not know what you're doing, or... I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, that was actually... I'm like scared of these survivors, they're good. Oh no, oh no. Oh, I hate this map, I hate this map so much. Oh no. Can't find them. They're doing everything. I don't want to play this map. Oh my god, I'm like so terrified of everything. Okay, baby Dwight. I have so much I need to do that Jen's done already over there. What the fuck? What the fuck did I just... Okay, I think I'm just gonna not record this game. Oh, I hate this map so much. Okay, I have like 7 things to do. That was the best sprint burst I've ever seen in my life. That was great. Meg? Meg, you made such a good play. And then you really fucked it up. Okay, so I'm really bad at explaining things. Sorry, the obsession. it. I'm sorry. But that was my last killer tome. That was actually my very last killer tome. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. This video was actually a ton of fun to make. Like, it's the first one I've done that was an instructional tutorial and in-depth analysis of a killer. I had so much demo gameplay saved up just trying to make this video. I had a blast playing him the entire time, and I don't think I'm going to be changing this build anytime soon. So again, you're all wonderful, be well, and I will catch you all in the next video. Love you guys. Thank you so much.